Ambassador Fernando Espinosa, we've heard about the ambition to create an augmented intelligence tool for decision makers, but why is that needed, and how does it then actually enable the work of decision makers and enables their acting?
State Secretary, first of all, thank you very much for posing the question. Good morning to everybody. And I think after the presentation that we have seen, we have a very good indication what is this all about. What we have been discussing for the past 3 days at the summit and over the last 3-4 years at the summits is how science and technology have actually overwhelmed politics, diplomacy, and society. We are somehow a step behind most of the time. So now we have a game changer. So the fact that we are about to see an app that allows us to have intelligence, information, data, might lead us to take better decisions. This is not to say that we diplomats or politicians might not make good or bad decisions, but at least we will have the data, the intelligence of trusted sources, of curated sources. And this is what is happening about this particular app. Now, let me use a metaphor. You probably remember Canadian philosopher Marshall McLuhan. And I love from this project that is called an observatory. Because if you remember Marshall McLuhan from last century, he had this coin of the global village, and he had a wonderful book named The Gutenberg Galaxy, which is basically a metaphor that he created that he used to describe the universe of different books that were written after the emergence of printers by Johannes Gutenberg. A galaxy conformed by many clusters, individual clusters, here plants, there, over there, yeah, right? Now, what we have right now is something like a galaxy, a virtual galaxy. Information, data, news, fake news, science, pseudoscience. So we are navigating as diplomats, as policymakers on this world, and we have to be discriminate what kind of information is available, is useful for me to make a recommendation, for me to take a decision. And I can provide you very concrete examples, as it was mentioned before. I mean, currently, we're negotiating a pandemic treaty at WHO, and experts are needed, but sometimes the negotiations are focused on very specific matters, on very specific issues, and we need the guidance, we need specific information. Now, the idea of this observatory, I believe, using the same metaphor by Marshall McLuhan, an observatory provides us some lenses, and those lenses give us a very specific insight into precise information, which is curated. We have the guarantee that we have some more specific data that we need. Now, this is not to say that we are human beings, as diplomats, politicians, should blindly rely only on artificial intelligence. I mean, critical thinking is still needed, to take informed decisions. And this information will be provided by this tool. So we have basically this game changer looking into these clusters. And something that I believe is extremely important to remember is the use of artificial intelligence. And I can provide you a very good example. If you look into these clusters of information, well, we're conducting this session in English, but what about the clusters of galaxies, of this galaxy of information, of Spanish, for the Francophone, for those who speak Portuguese, Arabs, in any other language? Well, it's magnificent that with the use of artificial intelligence, there will be something like a democratic field. All of a sudden, thanks to artificial intelligence, some other users will be able actually to reach that information and make it available on the languages. So my last thought, thank you very much, GESDA. I think we're excited to see about the final product that will be a game changer. Congratulations to you.
Thank you very much, Ambassador. Thank you. Matthias Troyer, when we look at the observatory, the Anticipation Observatory, that it seems to be that it is hugely complex, and I wonder how that will be done. So my question to you, is it really doable to do what was just presented now, or are we just becoming agents of the all-encompassing hype, or are we standing on solid ground?
Yeah, that's a good question. I was asked yesterday, we tried to have clarity around quantum with the OQI, and for years we tried to break through the hype there, and we launched the OQI and found out what quantum is really good at. And then I was challenged, is this now just more hype with AI that we're creating here, or is that real? And it's true that AI has unleashed new waves of creativity, productivity. We've seen the bubbles before, imagining futures, the pictures there, the video. It's amazing what AI can do. But this is all hallucinated. And what you need here, Ambassador, and what the diplomats need and what scientists need is something that is grounded in scientific fact. So how do we bridge the AI power with the trusted data, the trusted facts that we need? And the key to remember here is that we can use AI not just to imagine futures, we can use AI as the interface to data. AI is the natural language interface that lets us search in data, that lets us summarize data, that lets us find connections. So you can use it in ChatGPT to just write new essays. Great. But the power really comes in when then, for example, we built the Copilot that lets you search through the web, and it summarizes what it finds. It gives you the summary, the answers with the links to the sources. For the enterprise customers, we built an enterprise the Copilot, where the search is not only on the web, but also through the company's data, and helps find the answers relevant to an enterprise. For science, we built the Copilot that uses the literature combined with AI to find the latest trends. So I think that's what is the foundation here. One uses the trusted data that GESDA collects, and one uses then AI to do more with it than just the printed radar. So the key is AI does not have the knowledge of the latest things. And when you, Ambassador, and the others ask of what's new in the field, what's new in the world, in science, in things where you can't be an expert, how can you stay up to date on knowledge? That's where AI with trusted data can help you build a tool to get there. And the better the data is, the more you trust the data, the better the answers you get. I think that's the role that GESDA can play here. By being the trusted broker, by having a network of top scientists in the world that for the last 5 years curated data and built the radar, of making all that knowledge accessible through that tool, combining that with AI to be able to ask questions and go beyond. And it will go beyond just finding information. It can help you find links and relations between seemingly the unrelated data, can give you new insights. So that's the power here. And there's not science fiction that's here today. And the big role, again, that GESDA plays here is the unique place that you have at GESDA for having this worldwide knowledge in science, diplomacy across all fields, and that you make that available. So it will be a great tool that I look forward to using.
Thank you very much, Matthias. So, ladies and gentlemen, there you go. There you have the Anticipation gateway initiative cascading through the curriculum, the portal, and the observatory. And I'm sure many of us now are suffering from memory overflow, so we need a break to mull it all over. And can I ask you to reconvene at 11 o'clock, for the final segment of this year's summit, the Geneva Political Talks on Science and Diplomacy 2024, hosted by the Swiss Federal Councillor Ignacio Cassis. À tout à l'heure.